Before tonight ends, your life will change with a single moment. One look, one touch, one meeting that feels like destiny. Tonight, you step into a classic fairy tale where you are the princess in this romantic sleep story for grown-ups. So close your eyes, breathe in slowly, and follow my voice into a magical realm where time slows, hearts awaken, and love begins beneath a silver moon. Welcome to a midnight romance. The dark mahogany wood of the carriage surrounds you like a haven, shielding you from the cool whisper of the night. You sink deeper into the plush cushions, upholstered in thick royal blue velvet, a shade that glows like the midnight sky, rich and endless. The faint scent of varnished wood and lavender drifts in, grounding you as the carriage glides further into enchantment. You glance down, catching sight of your gown in the moonlight, deep sapphire silk, flowing like a river at dusk. Over it drapes a gossamer layer of sheer fabric, dusted with the faintest shimmer, as though stars themselves have settled upon your dress. The silk glides over your skin, lingering like liquid twilight. Your slippers, crafted of shimmering glass, catch the soft radiance and scatter tiny sparks of starlight across the floor. Outside, the cool hush of the night clings to the air like mist curling around the roots of an ancient forest. The only sound is the rhythmic soothing clop of the horses' hooves as they move onto the ancient cobblestone path. You draw the curtain back just an inch to peer outside. The carriage glides gracefully across a long, moonlit stone bridge, a magnificent archway stretching over a dark, whispering ravine. To your side, a waterfall cascades in a spray of silver mist, shimmering like liquid starlight beneath the full moon. Ahead, the first gate comes into view, a towering wall of weathered stone, softened by the warm light spilling from the towers above. The iron-bound doors creak softly as if whispering old secrets, inviting you to step into a world suspended between reality and wonder. A gentle anticipation stirs in your chest, like the first note of a forgotten melody, weaving through the air, carrying with it a promise of something extraordinary, awaiting just ahead. The steady rhythm of the horses' hooves and the faint distant music of the ball grow nearer. The carriage slows, and finally comes to a gentle halt. A deep stillness settles around you. The door opens and a sudden warm light spills in. A hand appears, larger, firmer, waiting for yours. You take it, and the contact is unexpectedly warm and comforting, an anchor in the sudden grandeur of the night. You step out onto the cool stone, and the world opens up. Before you, a magnificent castle rises, its towers soaring toward the deep, star-strewn night sky. You feel a gentle, settling certainty in the air, a quiet promise that the one you are meant to find is waiting for you within. You ascend a long set of marble steps to the main doors, which tower over you, crafted from dark, polished wood and banded with thick, ornate gold. As you approach, 2 royal guards dressed in immaculate velvet and silver armor stand at attention. One of them, with a solemn nod, accepts the invitation from your gloved hand. The great doors slowly swing inward with a sigh of air, revealing the shimmering world inside. You glide past the entry, catching the flicker of 1,000 candles reflected in the gleaming wood of the walls. Tapestries of deep indigo and gold thread hang silently from the ceiling, depicting scenes of ancient, quiet royalty. You feel the cool press of the marble floor through your slippers as you make your way toward the sound of the music. Before you, a magnificent sweeping staircase of white stone curves upward to the main ballroom, its railing draped with garlands of silent, twinkling light. As you begin to walk, the light shifts, casting a faint, magical aura over the stairs. The sounds of the ball wash over you, the gentle rise and fall of a waltz, and the soft laughter of strangers, the hush of silk brushing against the marble floors. The room shimmers in candlelight, a blur of diamonds and velvet, every color glowing softly with light. As you move through the crowd, conversations soften. A few faces churn, eyes lingering a heartbeat longer than politeness allows. A passing gentleman pauses mid-sentence, his words fading into a quiet smile. It isn't attention you seek, yet it seems to follow you, light as breath, effortless as grace. You pass couples swaying to the rhythm of the music, their movements fluid and dreamlike. The air carries the heady aroma of honeysuckle and champagne, mingling with the warmth of candle wax and roses. Your focus remains steady, searching the room, not for anyone, but for something deeper, a feeling you can't quite name. It pulls you forward like an unseen thread. And then your eyes find him. He's the man of the hour, though he wears it lightly. Dressed in royal velvet, the color of midnight after the rain, his jacket gleams with silver embroidery and crisp white cuffs that brush softly at his wrists. He looks and dresses like royalty, yet carries himself with a soft but confident persona. He seems to be gently engaging with a crowd of women and courtiers, all vying for his attention. He carries a natural facade that seems practiced and yet out of place, even for himself. You are drawn to him, and in that moment, everything else blurs. Even the music fades as you wish to approach him and have his gaze meet yours. There's a longing you can't quite explain, but a thread of what some might call magic pulls you toward him. You can feel your heart race slightly and your breath catch as his gaze finally meets yours. The air feels lighter, the light seems to glow just for you, and the space between you shimmers with possibility. As his lips curve into that quiet, knowing smile, a deep, settling certainty washes over you. This man, gazing back at you, is your Prince Charming. His gaze holds yours, unwavering, magnetic, an intoxicating mix of desire and something far deeper, something that feels as though it has always been there, waiting. You catch a quiet resolve in his expression as he excuses himself with a courteous nod to those nearby. Then he moves. He doesn't rush. There's no need. The air itself seems to part for him as he crosses the room, every stride charged with purpose, every heartbeat pulling him closer. And still, his eyes are always searching for yours as he makes his way through the crowd. You wonder why you can't pull away, and you don't want to. You question whether the moment is real, if he's real, if the feelings are real. Somehow, your eyes keep finding his, each glance quietly encouraging the unspoken rhythm between you, until he's standing right before you. Now the world is still. His breath catches, and for a fleeting moment, you see something tender flicker across his face, a hint of nervousness that makes him human, endearing. Then comes his smile, slow, genuine, glowing. It unfurls like sunlight through clouds, reaching his eyes and filling them with warmth so pure it makes your chest ache in the most beautiful way. And then his voice, low, velvety, and steady, breaks the hush between you. May I have this dance? He extends his hand, palm up, an invitation wrapped in quiet awe. His eyes are still searching yours, and that breathtaking smile remains unwavering, yet you catch a subtle clench in his jaw, like he's holding back a deeper desire. Time seems to pause until your gloved fingers brush his skin. The touch is electric and tender all at once, a touch that spreads through you like a memory your heart somehow already knows. In that single timeless moment, the ballroom fades, and you are no longer just a guest at a royal gathering. You are the princess of this story, swept into a world where magic feels real and love feels destined. He leads you onto the dance floor, moving with total competence and ease. He raises your gloved hand, and his gaze drifts to the top of your hand, which he brings to his lips. He presses a light, deliberate kiss to the satin, a gesture of quiet respect, acknowledging that you have accepted his invitation. He then looks back into your eyes as his hand slowly settles at your waist, readying for the waltz. The gentle, secure touch of his hand takes your breath away, and his faint scent reaches you, a blend of spiced cedar and crisp linen, clean and deeply grounding. In that magical moment, without thinking or needing instruction, you begin to move together in perfect synchronicity. The music swells softly, and the world around you moves in a breeze. You feel stardust beneath your feet, as though you're walking on clouds. The waltz is effortless and delicate, each step a subtle echo of the one before. There is no rush in his hold. Each movement flows like a river of light, his touch guiding you with effortless grace. Your eyes meet briefly, a silent understanding passing between you, before you both drift again into the rhythm of the waltz. Every so often, his gaze flickers toward you, a quiet spark that leaves a shiver trailing down your spine. Your glance meets his on occasion, and you share a soft smile that makes you look away for a moment. He recognizes this, and his own gaze drifts away from yours, giving you grace and freedom in that moment. He looks away with a gentle, knowing smile, a signal that he understands the intensity. Yet, you can feel him stealing brief, warm glances, only to quickly return his focus, reinforcing the exquisite shared tenderness of this perfect moment. You sway slowly, letting the motion soothe your mind. Each gentle rotation is a promise, a confirmation of fate. The tension in your muscles unwinds with every turn, replaced by the effortless ease of moving as one with him. The world seems to bend softly around your shared rhythm, and you float in the center of it, cradled in his arms. Every breath draws you closer to the quiet magic of the dance. Each exhale releasing the remnants of the day until only this moment remains. His arm holds you just a little tighter as the music reaches its gentle peak. You open your eyes and see only him, the depth of his gaze reflecting the glittering chandeliers above. There is no urgency in his touch, only patience and certainty. And as you sway together beneath the glittering lights, the world beyond this moment ceases to exist. There is only him, the strength of his hold, the peace in his presence, and the undeniable certainty blossoming in your heart. This is where you belong. He leans closer, trying to speak to you. You can feel the gentle warmth of his breath by your ear that sends shivers inside you. But the music swells, strings and laughter blending into a blur of sound. His words are lost, yet his intent is clear. With a quiet, reassuring smile, He slips his hand into yours and gently guides you away from the dance floor, his touch resting slightly on the small of your back. There's something about him just holding your hand. It feels like he could guide you anywhere, and you'd follow completely without hesitation. That small connection fills you with warmth, with the kind of certainty that you never want to let go. It's simple, yet so sacred. Together you move through a softly lit archway, the golden glow of chandeliers fading behind you as the air cools and softens. You walk slowly, savoring the transition, feeling the hushed shift from the warmth of the crowd to the coolness of the deep night. He guides you down a short, velvet carpeted hall toward a set of tall, arched French doors. With a gentle gesture, he pushes them open, and the scent of jasmine, roses, and cool stone wafts in from the outside. You step onto a wide, moonlit marble balcony where the grand noise of the ball vanishes completely. Before you, the vast castle gardens stretch out, dark velvet shadows broken by winding paths and the shimmer of a distant fountain. Fireflies glowing like tiny stars, drawn to your presence. The air is cool and fragrant, offering a sense of deep, private peace. He settles beside you at the marble railing. The tranquil space between you is now intensely private, filled only with the soft sounds of the night and the steady rhythmic assurance of his presence. He looks out over the view, a sweeping panorama of the sleeping kingdom. Below, the city lights twinkle like scattered diamonds in the dark velvet landscape, stretching all the way to the distant hazy outline of the mountains. Above it all, the moon hangs immense and silver, casting a cool, brilliant glow over the scene. You steal a glance at the profile of his face, the moonlight highlighting the strong, quiet lines of his jaw. A simple, profound desire washes over you. You just want him to hold your hand again and to be close, just as you were on the dance floor. You long to be close enough to inhale his scent once more and feel the anchoring warmth of his touch. You shiver lightly, and before you can speak, he slips off his velvet jacket and drapes it gently around your shoulders. The fabric is still warm from his body, smelling faintly of spiced cedar, and the gesture, so thoughtful, so tender, sends a soft ache through your chest as he straightens the collar around your neck and catches your eyes again. His eyes narrow with a deeper sense of intimacy, and you see the Adam's apple in his throat swallow in that moment, as if he's contemplating his words. He doesn't rush to fill the silence. He doesn't need to. His eyes find yours, and in their warmth, you see everything words could never say. He lifts a hand, his thumb brushing tenderly against your cheek, the touch both grounding and electric. His gaze lingers, calm, reverent, as though he's memorizing the moment, afraid to let it fade. You look up at him, and for a heartbeat, everything falls perfectly still. The night, the castle, the distant music, all of it dissolves until there's only the two of you, bound by an unspoken understanding. When you finally speak, your words flow easily, softly. Laughter, gentle questions, little pieces of truth shared between two hearts that somehow already know each other. It feels effortless, as though you're remembering someone you've loved in another life. Every glance, every gentle smile pulls you closer, deepening the invisible thread that binds you. Something fragile, real, and achingly alive. He takes your hand, his fingers warm and steady, guiding you along the winding, moonlit garden paths. The lush grass whispers beneath your feet, and the night air carries the faint perfume of roses and wisteria. Above you, the stars shimmer like scattered diamonds, and his gaze lifts to the sky with a quiet admiration. "See that one?" he whispers, pointing to a bright constellation. "That's Cassiopeia. And over there," his finger traces another delicate pattern. And as he speaks, you realize how effortlessly he knows the stories behind each cluster of stars and myths and the old magic they hold. His voice carries a soft wonder, as if the universe itself has entrusted him with its secrets. You listen, captivated, feeling yourself fall deeper into the rhythm of his presence. You wander together, the soft murmur of leaves and the distant trickle of a fountain framing the night. At a rose bush, he stops, eyes lighting on a single bloom, perfect, delicate, luminous under the starlight. He plucks it with careful hands and offers it to you, holding it as though it were priceless. When your fingers brush his as you take it, a gentle warmth rushes through you, soft and thrilling, the kind that makes your chest flutter in anticipation as you breathe in the scent of the rose, like a love spell. The path leads you to an ivory stone bench tucked beneath an archway framed with wooden lattices of pink roses dotted with gleaming drops of evening dew. Fairy lights cling to the wood, twinkling like tiny stars that have fallen from the sky to watch over you. He sits beside you, and your head instinctively leans against his shoulder. The closeness feels real, authentic, and infinitely warm. The mossy stone beneath you is cool against your skin, a delicate counterpoint to the gentle heat radiating from his arm as he drapes it across your shoulders. Your head rests lightly against him, attuned to the steady rhythm of his movement, your own breathing slowly syncing with the dreamlike pulse of the night around you. You are utterly content, wrapped in his jacket, in his scent, in him. Inhale the blend of the spiced cedar and the crisp night air. Exhale any tension you didn't even know you were carrying. His hushed presence is all the peace you need. You feel your shoulders sinking slightly, your muscles softening completely. You are utterly present, utterly safe. The air around you is fragrant with lavender and gardenia, mingling with the low, steady song of the distant fountain. It's a timeless rhythm that holds you, cradling you in the embrace of night. You turn your focus inward, sensing the warmth where your hands are clasped, letting it ripple from your fingertips, up your arm, across your shoulder, and down your spine. You notice the simple sound of the wind moving through the ivy that frames the archway, a gentle, sustained whisper that acts like a lullaby. You are simply there, safe, cherished, and still. Every little worry, every lingering thought about tomorrow simply dissolves in the deep, protective silence of this moment. When he speaks, the low, comforting rumble of his voice is soothing. A soft breeze stirs your hair, carrying the faint scent of wisteria as he listens intently as you share something you've never shared with anyone else before. Then, as the conversation drifts into a quiet lull, you realize time is slipping through your fingers like water from a stream. You slowly sit up and your eyes meet. The feeling is deep, a closeness you've never known with anyone before. He reaches up, his hand moving slowly as he brushes a strand of hair from your face, tucking it gently behind your ear. His fingers trail along the curve of your jaw before pausing beneath your chin, tilting it upward. His eyes linger on your lips, and when his thumb glides softly across your bottom lip, a rush moves through your chest, stealing your breath for a moment. He waits, patient, wordless, so close now that you can feel the warmth of his breath against your lips. And just as you both fall into the stillness, a soft, crystalline chime echoes through the grand hall behind you. Delicate and distant, like the whisper of midnight itself. You can still remember the way the night felt, the cool air brushing your skin, the sound of music drifting softly from the ballroom. and the way his eyes held yours beneath the stars. He had leaned closer then, his breath warm against the chill of the night. The distance between you was barely a breath, that perfect trembling pause before a kiss. You could feel the slight tug of his hand as it rested on your arm, gentle, asking permission without a single word. His eyes were dark and deep, holding a mixture of wonder and immediate, desperate desire. You leaned in too, completely drawn, giving way to the magnetic pull that had existed between you since the moment your eyes first met. You felt the slight brush of his warm breath across your lips, the electric shock of anticipation running down your spine. The garden seemed to glow around you, the air thick with the quiet hum of magic, as though the universe itself was waiting for this single, final moment to seal your destiny. And then, through the stillness, it came. A single, distant chime. Soft at first, then another, and another. The slow, deliberate toll of the castle clock marked midnight. And then you had to leave. The world seemed to whirl around you as you ran, stars scattering across the sky in streaks of silver and sapphire, the soft glow of lanterns blurring into streaks of light. The staircase rose before you, grand and impossibly long, each step echoing beneath your swift, light-footed flight. You remember the marble floor, cool beneath your steps, the gentle whisper of silk as your gown swept past the door. Your glass slipper caught once on the marble, a fleeting pause, a delicate, shining promise left behind, before you continued racing toward the carriage in the quiet safety of the night. The sound of his voice calling your name, soft, steady, tinged with something like heartbreak, followed you through the grand hall, fading as you slipped into the night air. And as the carriage wheels began to turn, carrying you away into quiet reflection, you caught one last glimpse, his figure standing at the top of the stairs, framed in silver light, watching as the dream dissolved into starlit memory. Even now, after the bell has tolled, the memory lingers like a whisper. The warmth of his hand, the depth of his gaze, the ache of a magic that could not be held, fading, yet unforgettable. You are back in your quiet room now. The early morning sounds are soft and distant. The first gentle chirping of birds outside your window. The slow sigh of the breeze. The distant muffled sound of the world waking up. The air itself feels heavy with peace. You turn your body and sink deeper into the warmth of your sheets, letting the softness cocoon you entirely. You focus on the feeling of the duvet wrapped around your legs, the comfortable weight settling over your chest. You breathe in and breathe out. Calm, deep, and steady. You spend a quiet moment simply resting. You feel your jaw relax, your eyelids grow heavy, and the tension leaves the back of your neck. The pale golden sun of morning spills softly through the curtains, brushing warmth across your sheets. The world is hushed, slow, and safe. Then, softly, you hear it. A knock. Polite, hesitant, perhaps familiar. Your heart stirs again, a flutter of truth that feels as natural as breathing. You'll already know who it is. When you open the door, he is there. The world blurs at the edges, leaving only him in focus. It is not his attire or the formality of the moment that holds you, but the way he looks at you. Happiness, the expression on his face gleaming with desire to run up and just hold you. All of this fills his eyes in that moment. You stand at the door in front of him. He steps forward as you instinctively move back to let him in. You lead him toward the table, your fingers brushing lightly against the edge of your gown as you lift it just above your ankles. A small, graceful motion that feels both natural and intimate. In his hands rests a small velvet pillow, and atop of it, the delicate glass slipper gleams softly in the pale afternoon light. But you barely noticed it. All that exists is the quiet certainty in his gaze, the way it meets yours with recognition, tenderness, and the unspoken understanding that you are wholly, irrevocably seen. He doesn't speak at first. He simply looks at you, his eyes confirming the truth of his memory. You see the faint twitch of his jaw, the way he swallows, as though gathering his courage. Then, with quiet reverence, he kneels before you. A soft, unguarded smile lifts his features, happiness washing over his face like sunlight. With careful hands, he lifts the slipper and slides it onto your waiting foot. It fits effortlessly, as though it had always belonged there. But he doesn't look down. His gaze remains on you, steady, warm, certain. And then with a voice as soft as the morning wind, he whispers the words, "I knew it was you. I'm so glad that I finally found you." All that exists is the afternoon light catching in his eyes and the subtle shimmer of the glass slipper on the velvet pillow. Time pauses, the room holding its breath as sunlight spills across the table, the warmth of the moment wrapping around both of you. You are exactly where you belong. In this moment, in this love, in this quiet certainty that will carry you gently into dreams